Ever watch those documentaries about cults? Like the wild ones,
Well, yeah.
And you're just kind of glued to the screen thinking, what is going on here?
Yeah.
How could anyone fall for this stuff?
Right.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. The psychology of cults, why people join, how these groups tick, and the warning signs everyone should know.
And it's not just about, people being gullible or whatever. It's way more complex than that.
Exactly. It's not about lacking intelligence. Even really smart, politically active people can get drawn in.
Especially, I think, during times of like upheaval,
Yeah.
when things feel uncertain.
Totally. Like when you're searching for answers, for meaning, for something more.
100%. That's when those universal needs kick in. Belonging, purpose, knowing who you are. Cults, they're really good at tapping into that.
It's almost like they exploit those needs, those very human desires.
Yeah, yeah. They provide this, well, it's a distorted version of those things, obviously, but it's still alluring.
So before we get too far,
Mhm.
I think it's important to define what we even mean by cult. Right.
Yeah, good point.
Because it's not always the stereotypical image, right?
Yeah.
Robes, weird rituals, all that.
No, not at all. It can be way more insidious. One of the first things to look for is this charismatic leader.
Okay.
But not just charismatic, someone who demands total loyalty, like questioning them is off limits.
Almost like a cult of personality in a way.
Exactly. And it's funny, you see hints of that even in mainstream politics sometimes.
Oh, yeah. A little too close for comfort.
Right. So you've got that, the leader thing, and then often it goes hand in hand with beliefs that are kind of out there.
Extreme or unconventional.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes members feel like they've got this special knowledge, like they're in the inner circle.
The chosen ones,
Yeah.
almost.
And who doesn't want to feel special like that?
Right. But then it goes a step further. It's not just the leader and the beliefs, it's the isolation.
Oh, yeah. Isolation is key. If they can control the information you're getting, limit your contact with the outside world.
They can control your whole reality.
Exactly. You're in this bubble, this echo chamber, where their ideas are the only ones that matter. And any doubts you have,
Squashed.
gone.
Mhm.
You lose that ability to even think for yourself.
So it's not just controlling what people think, it's controlling their whole social environment.
Precisely. Cut them off from other perspectives, from family and friends who aren't on board.
And it's like they're stuck.
Exactly. Trapped.
Yeah, tracked. Like, how do they even get people to that point? What are the tactics they use?
Well, one of the most, I'd say, insidious is love bombing.
Love bombing.
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of it, but I'd love to, break it down,
Okay, so it's basically like imagine being just showered with attention and affection,
Yeah.
right? Especially like when you first join the group. You're
Mm.
amazing, you're special, you found your true family, all that.
It's like intoxicating almost.
Yeah, and that's exactly what makes it so dangerous, right? Because who doesn't want to feel that way?
Right.
So it really disarms you. You lower your guard. And especially when these groups are targeting people who are already feeling, lost or alone,
Yeah.
that acceptance is powerful.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember actually reading about this one group, and they would literally shower recruits with gifts.
Oh, wow.
Praise, constant attention, the works, made them feel like royalty.
It's almost like they're being groomed in a way, isn't it?
That's a chillingly accurate way to put it.
Yeah.
Because it is about creating this dependency.
Right.
Make them feel like they need the group, to survive, to be happy.
To function.
Exactly. And once you've got them, then the manipulation can get even more intense.
And is that where the us versus them thing comes in?
100%.
Like the outside world is dangerous.
Yeah, they're the enemy, right? It creates the siege mentality, like they're under attack from everyone, mainstream society, other religions, whoever.
So then any criticism is just like, oh, you're brainwashed.
Exactly. You're just falling for their lies,
Yeah.
Total propaganda.
Wow, it's scary how effective that is.
Oh, it's incredibly effective. And, unfortunately, we've seen the tragic consequences of this kind of manipulation, like with the Jonestown Massacre.
Yeah, that was really where it hit home for me. Like, this is serious stuff.
Absolutely. And, over 900 people, all following this charismatic leader, Jim Jones,
Right.
ended in a mass suicide. It's a stark reminder of how powerful these groups can be.
How distorted reality can become.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's not like these tactics have gone away. They've just evolved.
Lance technology, right.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Online platforms, they're practically made for this kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. They can control the whole narrative.
Recruitment, control. It's all right there at their fingertips.
Yeah, and it's so easy to stumble into these groups, right?
Yeah.
Because they're often disguised as, like, harmless self-help things, you know?
Yeah, or like political movements, anything that taps into that desire for connection, meaning, purpose.
Right, and then all of a sudden, you're in too deep.
And you don't even realize it, you know? You join a forum, a social media group, seems harmless enough,
Right, right.
but slowly, gradually, they draw you in.
Yeah, and online, it's even easier to control that information, right?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, those echo chambers.
It's like they're tailor-made, those online spaces, you know? And because online relationships, they feel real,
Oh, they do, yeah.
intense, you know? It's easy to get sucked in.
It's like those algorithms that feed you more of what you like online, but in this case, it's what they want you to like.
100%. They target you. Personalized content, reinforcing what you already believe, and boom.
Down the rabbit hole you go.
Exactly.
It's scary, honestly. So how do we protect ourselves? Like, what are the warning signs to look out for?
Well, I'd say one of the biggest red flags is a sudden change in someone's behavior, you know? Like
Okay.
they become way more secretive, especially about this new group they're into.
Right.
Or the leader, they won't shut up about the leader.
Oh, yeah. And they always have an answer for everything. It's like,
Exactly. And they might start, using different language, dressing different, or like withdrawing from friends and family who aren't part of the group.
it's like pushing everyone away.
Yeah, they're slowly being absorbed into this other world, and their old life just doesn't fit anymore.
Right. It's like they're gone almost.
And the scary thing is, along with that withdrawal, often comes this like intolerance for any criticism of the group, you know?
Oh, yeah. You can't say anything.
You try to talk to them, express concern, and they get defensive, even hostile, like you're the one being brainwashed.
Right, right. Like you're the problem.
Exactly.
So how do you even approach that? Like, how do you talk to someone like that?
It's tough, honestly, because they're caught in this web of manipulation, you know?
Yeah.
Confrontation often just makes things worse, pushes them further in.
Right.
I think the best approach is to focus on your concern for them, not the group.
Okay.
Remind them of who they were, you know? Let them know you're there for them.
Let's keep that door open.
Exactly, however fragile it might feel.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it's
Wow.
not just about, spotting the signs in others. It's about protecting ourselves too, right?
Oh, 100%.
So how do we do that? How do we avoid getting sucked in?
Honestly. Critical thinking, that's your best defense.
Okay.
Question everything. Don't just take things at face value, especially online.
Right. Do your research.
Exactly. Look for evidence, different perspectives, and be wary of anyone claiming to have all the answers.
Because no one does.
Right, exactly. And surround yourself with people who challenge you, you
Yeah.
know?
Okay. Yeah.
People who make you think, who have different views.
So basically just being open-minded.
Yes. Diversity of thought, that's key.
Yeah.
Because cults, they thrive on isolation, on echo chambers.
Right. Shutting out any other voices.
Exactly. So the more open and honest we are with each other, the harder it is for them to operate.
That makes sense. Well, this has been, I'll be honest, kind of terrifying, but also really eye-opening.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff.
It is, but it's important, cults aren't just a thing of the past. They're still out there. They're evolving
Absolutely.
and preying on those very human desires
Mhm.
for belonging, for meaning.
They're master manipulators.
They are, but like you said, knowledge is power, right?
100%.
The more we understand how these groups work, the warning signs, the tactics, the better equipped we are to protect ourselves and the people we care about.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So yeah, stay curious, stay critical, and if something feels off, don't be afraid to talk to someone you trust.
Absolutely. You're never alone.
Well said. Well said. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive, but wow, there's a lot to think about.
That's for
Until next time, stay safe out there.